and a very good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, a very warm welcome to the Strategies for Increasing Adoption of Efficient Fans in India workshop. Today we are gathered here for this very significant event that aims to drive market transformation and promote the adoption of energy-efficient fans in India. I'm your host for the day. My name is Sarosh Sharma. Before we dive into the exciting agenda that is lined up for today, let's take a moment to acknowledge the esteemed individuals who have graced with their time and presence. For the inaugural session, I would like to invite, and please join me in inviting on the stage, Shri Venkatesh Dwivedi, Group Executive Director, Projects and Business Development, EESL, Shri Milind Deore, Secretary, BEE, Shri Abhishek Gupta, General Manager, EESL, and Shri Bishal Thapa, Senior Director, CLASP. Thank you for gracing the dais, and thank you for your valuable time and presence. A warm welcome to all of you once again. Ladies and without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Bishal Thapa, the Senior Director, CLASP, for the welcome address and for setting the tone for the day's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bishal Thapa brings 22 years of global experience working with a wide range of public and private sector partners across energy, climate, energy efficiency, environment, and sustainability. He brings expertise in designing, developing, and implementing multi-dimensional energy sector projects with governments, development agencies, and private sector entities. Mr. Bishal Thapa.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that warm introduction. Mr. Milind Deore, Secretary, BEE, Mr. Venkatesh Dwivedi, Group Executive Director, EESL, Mr. Abhishek Gupta, General Manager, EESL. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this workshop on strategies for increasing adoption of energy-efficient fans in India. For millions in India and around the world, the fans is often the difference between a good day and a bad day, between a good night and a bad night, and in some very extreme cases, with a sultry, scorching summer day, the twirling of a fan can often be the difference between life and death. With that, in India, close to 90% of the households rely on fans for their cooling and ventilation. So just to put that percentage in perspective, that's 272 million households, or approximately 1.2 billion people. That population is bigger than the combined population of the United States, all of Europe, Japan, and Canada. And each one of them, every one of them, now deserves the right, and increasingly the necessity as well, of having the comfort of cooling. The access to cooling is not an option anymore. It's become almost a fundamental right. Everyone, and I mean everyone, must have the access to a fan, everyone who needs it. At the same time, out of the 90% of households that use ceiling fans, only about 3% currently use energy-efficient fans. And this adoption is highly skewed to urban centers like Delhi and Mumbai, and mostly concentrated in higher income households. But as you dig a little bit deeper into that statistic, which might sound to you very commonplace, as you sort of unravel and unwrap that statistic, I think it tells a much darker story about existing inequities, about poor access, and the resulting economic justice of this very skewed ownership. Ceiling fans currently represent about 40% of Indian household electricity consumption. Even by 2030, an estimate by Prayas, and colleagues from there are here, project that 32% of household energy consumption will still be driven by fans. Inefficient fans, therefore, represent the most expensive part of the overall product use. The impacts are disproportionately on the poor, many of whom have inefficient fans to even begin with. But on the flip side of that somewhat dark story is perhaps a silver lining, where all of the essential elements for bringing together and enhancing access to efficient fans are already there. Energy and emission saving potential is already there. For example, if the entire residential ceiling fan stock and the annual market were to shift to super efficient fan, we would save at least 15% of household residential energy consumption. The addressable market is large. There's approximately 476 million is one estimate, out of which 410 million constitutes a replacement market and 66 million is unfulfilled demand. And that's 66 million too many people who don't yet have access to fans. The production and sales volume are high. The ecosystem is in place. It needs to be expanded further, perhaps to accelerate deployment and access. Approximately 3 to 4 crore fans are sold every year. The regulatory infrastructure around energy efficiency is in place. In May 22, for example, BEE made SNL labels mandatory for ceiling fans. Earlier this year, voluntary energy labels were applied on pedestal, table, and wall-mounted fans. While energy-efficient fans obviously are more expensive to purchase, over the life cycle of the product's use, it does constitute and provide for its users significant essential savings. So as you can see, the ingredients are all in place. There's a well-established need. There's a large market size. The technology availability is there. The regulatory basis is there. The user economics is all there. So as you look around this room, you might wonder, why are we here then? With all of the ingredients in place, why hasn't this market really taken off? And I think that's part of the question we're going to try to answer through the course of the day. And it's not a question with any easy answers. I'm sure there'll be many challenges, there'll be many limitations, and it's probably a complex set of interrelated reasons of why we are here today trying to address it. But I want to begin by congratulating EESL on launching this initiative for 10 million super efficient fans, because an intervention is clearly needed to try to scale, to try to create a ripple effect. On behalf of CLASP and many other stakeholders and who are supporting EESL on this very important initiative, we're very delighted to be here and partner along with this initiative. I'm sure that this conversation today will not be the end, but the start of many. And I'm sure that getting to 10 million fans, almost a third or fourth of the annual marketplace, is going to be an uphill task that's going to require engagement from many different partners and stakeholders. So welcome to this workshop once again. We are just around the corner from the World Environment Day, which is on the 5th of June. And just in case you think it's not auspicious enough, let me assure you that right now, with 66 million people that still don't have access to fans, I think every day has to be a World Environment Day. We don't really have the time for any other day. So I think this is equally auspicious. And thank you all for being here. I'm very privileged and honored to have with us Mr. Milind Deore, who is the Secretary at BEE. He'll be providing a special address. I'm also very honored to be joined by Mr. Venkatesh Dwivedi, who's the Group Executive Director for Projects and BD at EESL. A very warm welcome to both of you. Mr. Abhishek Gupta, GM EESL, is also here and will be offering the vote of thanks. Through the course of the day, we have two pretty exciting sessions that focus on different aspects of the strategies. We're very privileged to be joined in one of the sessions by Ms. Pravati Nalini Samal, who's the director with BEE. The two sessions will also be moderated by my colleague Neha Dhingra and Ms. Bansi Shukla from EESL. But there's a lot more, and I want to just not go through the names, but just categorize for you the different types of stakeholders and participants that are here. We have several colleagues from civil society who are speaking, very excited and looking forward to hearing from them. We have representatives from the manufacturing industry, several of them who've been in discussions through the course of this week on very interesting technical standards, I've heard. We have representatives from distribution entities, including some who are working at a very, very grassroots level to try to mobilize the expansion and deployment of fans. And most importantly, to all the delegates who've joined us this morning, welcome. I hope that, as I said, every day is now a World Environment Day because there's no choice for any other day. So thank you all for coming, and welcome once again, and looking forward to a great discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thapa, for a very warm welcome note and also very insightful address. No wonder the humble fan is the one that makes a difference between a good day and a night day, sometimes a good night and a bad night, and at very crucial times between survival and demise, everyone should have the right to have the comfort for cooling. Very thought-provoking notes indeed, and the start of a much-needed deliberation, ladies and gentlemen. With these notes, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Venkatesh Dwivedi, Group Executive Director, Projects and BD EESL, who will be sharing his introductory remarks and shed light on the importance of this workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, he has been working with EESL since October 2013, during which he has served as the first project manager of EESL's flagship, Ujala scheme, and the first national project manager for India's street lighting national program. Mr. Venkatesh Dwivedi.
Good morning, Mr. Bishal Thapa, Milindji, Abhishek, all the invitees, industry members, colleagues, and other stakeholders. Welcome. I'd like to thank CLASP for helping us arrange this program. Abhishek and his team, our PR team, for helping us make sure that this program takes place. And I think, as Bishalji said, just looking at the heading would not tell us how important this appliance is. If we look at the period between 2010 and 2020, we used to get data that the single largest appliance load, electrical appliance load in India, is that of the ceiling fan. And as he said, fans are required for those who do not have access to other more advanced cooling technologies like air conditioning. But when we just speak about the ceiling fan is already there. A very large population, around 25-30% of the market, and around 6 crore fans are being bought every year. The argument has to be very compelling for asking any buyer to move from a normal fan or the earlier conventional 5-star rated fan to the BLDC fan. So I think for the program ahead, all of the participants should look at, stitching together a plan, and that's why all of us are here. A plan how to make this successful, because on one side we are looking at a technology which has been there for some time now. It is not getting adopted on a large scale. We have a consumer who understands the requirement of an efficient fan, but still this technology has still not seen the scale that it has the potential for, and ESL is only looking at a targeted number of around 1 crore fans in the first phase. I think the consumer behavior becomes very important here, and making the buyer aware that you actually need this appliance, and it is slightly different from the earlier fan. ESL has been working to promote this fan since 2015-16. I see some of the industry members who helped ESL promote the BLDC fan way back in 2016-17. And we primarily targeted the institutional customer, the commercial establishments, the industry, where fans are being used. And one of the first things which came up was that the fan was not robust enough, or the technology, the driver was not robust enough to tolerate the electricity fluctuations, the high harmonics in the electricity circuit, which commercial establishments and big organizations have. I think that problem is solved to a great extent, and the fans today are more robust. If we see the potential of where this can go, in 2015, there was a projection that by 2030, the covered space or the inhabited space in India will double by the year 2030. And if you have a roof over your head, and if in square feet or square yards it is going to double, then the market also is expected to double by 2030. And we are somewhere in between. We are in 2023. We have 7 more years to go. And very important that we help buyers change buying preferences. We create another energy efficiency market. ESL has had the experience of doing this with the LED bulb, with the LED street light, with the smart meter, with the electric vehicles and EV chargers. If you see carefully, in none of them ESL is a manufacturer, but we help bundle together a commercial package which was appealing to the end customer, and we partnered the industry in helping achieve that. We value the industry. In fact, some of the industry members who helped the lighting revolution, LED lighting revolution, are here. So they would understand, they would know that the objective of this program is not to bring down the price. I think that the industry invites upon itself by trying to compete on pricing rather than competing on quality. Because whatever ESL will buy will be still a fraction of what the market will eventually lap up. If we see the LED bulb, when we started, we were told that every year 77 crore LED bulbs, 77 crore conventional incandescent and CFL bulbs are sold in India, and the LED bulb will slowly replace that volume. The latest numbers that we gave to Ministry of how many LED bulbs have been sold by ESL and the industry combined. I mean, of course, ESL also sells a bulb which is manufactured by the industry. The number till now is 418 crore LED bulbs. And the bulbs sold through the ESL counter is just around 36-37 crore. When we started that program, the LED bulbs, the number of bulbs sold was hardly anything. And I think there is that is the place where ESL would like to contribute here also and help transform the market with the help of the industry and the other stakeholders who are all present, who will help this sector grow. And the first area which we have already tried to penetrate are the commercial establishments, the industrial sector, where this adoption will help the decision makers in the government, other stakeholders, understand and value this product. And it is only then it will have penetration in the retail market. Yes, there is a very aware early adopters segment who would want to buy this for their homes as something very modern, very efficient. But if we want to really cover the entire market and transform the market completely, we know that the retail buyer does not accept just because some technology is good or attractive or fashionable. The buying decision is very complex. So my request to all of you would be to think hard on how that compelling argument has to be made and the pitch which ultimately the industry will make to the end user, and make sure that this becomes as successful, or I think more successful, as far as the impact it will create on energy efficiency and energy conservation in the Indian market. With that, I'll thank all of you for giving me an opportunity, and we look forward for a interesting dialogue during the day. We hope that a very successful plan comes out of this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dwivedi, for your introductory remark and also for your wishes for today's workshop, and also shedding the light on how inefficient fans add to the burden of expenses for all of us, and how significant, how important it is to have a robust, efficient fan, and also for transforming the entire market. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we have the honor of hearing our special address. Please welcoming Mr. Milind Deore, Secretary BEE. Later, Mr. Deore joined Bureau of Energy Efficiency as Secretary in April 2023. Prior to this, he was working as Director in BEE and was leading a team for the implementation of the Energy Conservation Act, policies and schemes of Government of India into industries and commercial sectors. He has developed and been involved in the implementation of various national level energy efficiency and demand side management schemes and programs like PAT, Perform, Achieve and Trade Scheme for industrial sectors, Bachat Lamp Yojana for the domestic sector, Agriculture DSM, Energy Efficiency for SMEs, to name a few. Mr. Milind Deore.
Thank you, for the introduction. Very good morning to all of you. Shri Venkatesh Dwivedi ji, Director ESL, Mr. Abhishek EESL, Mr. Bishal Thapa, Senior Director CLASP, my colleague Pravati, Samuel Director BE, officials from AEEE, Shakti, CCC, and also from state designated agencies, UP NIDA, fan manufacturer associations, civil societies, consumer groups, Prayas. I'm observing many of very think tank people are here. So first of all, I'm really thanks inviting CLAB for me for this program, where we are going to discuss about the strategies for increasing the adoption of energy efficient fans in India. You all are aware that we have a very successful programs since long. Bureau of Energy Efficiency, you may be that similar program we initiated for promoting the compact fluorescent lamp, that is CFL, in the year 2012. It was also the same model based on the carbon credit, but again we promoted the technology by aggregating the demand and pushing it to the directly consumer. Subsequently, through ESL, Ujala scheme was implemented, where BE was also part in the initial phase, and it was one of the biggest success you can say for the lighting energy efficiency program. Now moving towards the next appliance is the fan. I think the population of the fans in the domestic as well as the commercial sector is huge. Numbers are already explained by previous speakers. Around 50 crore fans are already there in the market, and out of that, 80% fans are consuming more than 70 watt, or they are inefficient in the present technology and in the present context. So the market is huge and the potential is also huge. As the numbers are already thrown to you by Bishal regarding the consumption, the 40% of electricity consumption, as Prayas has already evaluated, by the fans in the domestic sector, it represents that there is a significant potential for, out of that 40%, 20% just by implementing this scheme, we can achieve it. As a B, what we have done and what we are promoting for the energy efficient fans. Bureau of Energy Efficiency has included fans into the standard and labeling program in the year 2008 itself, and it was initially, I think it was on voluntary basis. The response was initially was not good. Later on, after promoting, after having a lot of awareness, many of the fan manufacturers were part of that program, and till 2019, we have a good numbers. But again, the technology has changed in the 2019, or maybe before that also. The BLDC came into the market, and there is a need to change our standards also and to bring the fans from voluntary standard and labeling program to the mandatory program. And in the year 2022, July, we have bring the fans now under mandatory regime. Actually, we taken 12 years to do this. It is little bit higher, but what we learned that many of the fan manufacturers are from unorganized sector also, and there is a need to bring them on one platform by promoting a technology, by promoting a standards, and now everybody is agreed, and now we make them as a mandatory program. I'm very happy that efficiency standards are also being significantly improved since we included the fan into the standard and labeling program. Initially, the fan, which was 5-star in the year 2010, 11, 12, now it is a 1-star after the technology change. So there is a significant change and in terms of efficiency. And now it's a time to promote this energy efficient fan into the market. Bureau has also done a lot of program for promoting the demand side management initiatives. One of the program which we are doing in DISCOMs, particularly for their enhancing the capacity building, so that they can implement more demand side management initiatives. From the year 2014, we have started this scheme that is called Capacity Building of DISCOM program. And I'm very happy to share here that this is the only program which was helped EESL also to roll out the Ujala scheme in all the DISCOMs. And it was a big success, which was appraised by Honorable PM also in many times. So under this capacity building DISCOM program, we have done a lot of training to the DISCOM officials. We prepared a DSM action plan. We done a load resistor studies. And these are the only initiatives through which DSM measures like LED lighting, fan program, AC program, demand reduction program can be implemented. And many of the progressive DISCOMs taken a benefit and they implemented also. Now we are continuing this activity in more than 60 plus DISCOMs. And Madam Prabhati was also being involved in implementing this entire program. She was pioneer in this one. So I'm very happy that under this program, we may continue this activity, that promotion of energy efficient fans into the DISCOMs. And the DISCOM have a direct contact with the consumers. They are daily meeting. So implementation of such a programs through DISCOMs is very easy. And it is one of the good case. Ujala's initial phase was implemented through DISCOMs only. So we have created the DSM cells. We provided the manpower. We provided the technical agencies to all these 60 DISCOMs. So now EESL can use this structure and implement the target of this energy efficient fan program for 10 million. Right now they are taking a target of 10 million, and I am very happy. This could be helpful in implementing the DSM program, which Bureau is also seeking through capacity building of DISCOM program. Now coming to the workshop's main agenda, that is what are the strategies can we bring it for increasing the adoption of this energy efficient fans. I just want to list out some of them, and I'm very not very passionate, but I will just throw some light on it. One is, as I said, the existing capacity building DISCOM program, which is there, and DSM cells are there. Many of the DISCOM have already created a DSM funds also, DSM regulations also. So we can push this program through EESL in implementing in domestic sector. Second is, as Mr. Dwivedi has briefly told about consumer behavior. So we need to take a large-scale sensitization program for changing the consumer behavior for adopting this energy-efficient fan. You know that currently the LIFE mission is already undertaken by Ministry of Environment, and all the ministries are involved in that one. And one of the focus area of this LIFE mission is energy saving. Honorable PM has launched this program. So through this LIFE mission, I think we can sensitize the consumers for adoption of the energy efficient fans. So this could be also one of the strategies so that the adoption of fans can be increased. Another is that can we also seek the benefit of carbon emissions can be integrated for implementing this program. There are many investors are available in the market who can put their investment, and the carbon benefit or CO2 emission benefit can be passed on to them through implementing this program. So this is one. There are some challenges are also there. What I learned from this new technology and the capacities and supply and demand issues. One is the supply and demand issue is there. Right now, around 15 million fans have been there. Sorry, the capacity is there for BLDC fans. And considering the market size, around 4.6 crores fans are being sold every year. And also the growth rate is 3%. So if you consider that one, there will be a supply and demand gap will be there. So we need to see that how industries can help up, how they can come up forward and meet this demand. Another is the challenges with respect to the maintenance of this new technology. I'm also the consumer of this BLDC fan, and what I learned that there are very few people in the market who knows the servicing, who knows the maintenance issues. So that ecosystem also need to be created very importantly, because if the fans get burnout or if get not working, there are no many service people that are available in the market. So there should be a skill development and training program is also needed along with hand in hand for promoting this one. Another is the high cost. Right now the cost is I think 2 times than the standard fan. How to meet this cost gap? One is demand aggregation model. Another is I think we can have carbon emission benefit. Or third is that can it be DSM funds can be used, which is with the discoms. So these are some of the strategies I think we can discuss in the daytime. There is a technical sessions are there, 2 technical sessions are there, and I hope there are many ideas will come out to discuss various strategies, challenges, issues, and also opportunities for the entire program. Lastly, I thank CLASP for inviting me for this workshop, and I'm here promised from BE. Bureau will be support and will be partner with ESL and all other stakeholders also for promoting this energy efficient fan into the domestic as well as commercial sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Deore, for your special address and also for sharing the timeline and journey of the past 12 years leading up to today's crucial time to promote energy-efficient fans in the market, as well as the need for skill development programs to maintain these fans. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed very grateful to all our distinguished speakers on the dais for their time and presence and their valuable contributions. I would request Mr. Abhishek Gupta, General Manager, EESL, to propose the vote of thanks. He's a highly experienced professional with over 22 years of expertise in forming new business verticals, building teams, formulating business strategies, finalizing contracts, conducting commercial negotiations, making proposals, managing tendering processes, executing projects, and operating and maintaining projects. Mr. Abhishek Gupta.
Thank you, madam. A very good morning to one and all. To start with, I should be thanking Milind Saab for taking time out to be here. Dwivedi Saab, who just left, in fact, he had a very hectic schedule. He specifically came to attend this inaugural session with us. Bishal ji, who has always been there with EESL for so many programs. Fan is just one of them. In fact, yesterday night we had a good meeting and we thought, let's have at least 12 hours gap to meet again. So various dignitaries coming from the government side, especially UP NEDA, Madam Samal. We met a couple of days back on similar topic to discuss on. The industry colleagues who have been the backbone of this particular segment to flourish. They all have helped us to grow further. We have already done 25 lakhs, but we want to achieve 10 million now. and the time is short. So that's where we thought, let's have some discussion among ourselves. Let us do some brainstorming and try to understand what are the ways and means to achieve the goal. And in the last, my colleagues from EESL, who are rock solid in terms of whatever they do, in terms of doing new things, adopting and adapting depending on the situation, depending on the requirement, and collaborating with different stakeholders and for the various businesses. I thank you all for being here, and we'll definitely have a very good discussion among ourselves. Though it would be just a couple of hours of discussion, but we want to have specific takeaways to take from this consultation exercise, and I'll request all of you to be part of this essential exercise. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for proposing the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a live demonstration of conventional fans, induction fans, and induction motor fans, and BLDC fans right there at the back of the hall. Please have a look, experience the live demonstration. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed very, very thankful to all of you. We are also very thankful to all our distinguished guests on the dais. As a token of our gratitude, I would request Mr. Bishal Thapa to kindly present a small token from CLASP and EESL. To our distinguished guests on the dais. We are thankful. Mr. Milind Deore, Secretary BEE. We're thankful to Mr. Abhishek Gupta, General Manager EESL. And of course, Mr. Dwivedi, who just, because of the paucity of time, he couldn't be here with us in this part of the inaugural session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, just to drive your attention, we do have a live demonstration, so please have a look and experience it. Thank you, everybody. We'll take a short break for tea and networking. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to the designated area, enjoy the refreshments, have a great cup of tea and coffee, and we will start our next session in 15 minutes. Thank you, enjoy the tea break, and see you all back in 15 minutes. Thank you.